Hello and welcome to Back at Camp, Mojave County's only outdoor television show. I'm your host, Captain Don Martin, and on today's show I have with me Chris Wagner, the owner of the gun shop. We're going to talk about some exciting new firearms that are out there and about some new shooting sports that are going on and will soon be in the Kingman area. So don't go away, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Back at Camp. I'm your host, Captain Don Martin. With me today is Chris Wagner. Now, Chris is the owner of the gun shop, which is located at
4938 Stockton Hill Road.
Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Chris has been with us a couple times before, and every show he brings down some new and exciting items for us to look at and to talk about. Now, Chris, today we're going to talk about a new sport that you've got the equipment for that is coming to Kingman. It'll be here shortly, and tell us about this sport called three gun.
Well, that it is. It's swept the nation. It's the big talk of the fun gunners. Instead of just utilizing the handguns that we've traditionally seen in the speed shooting, it utilizes three. In fact, the handguns, the rifles, typically the black guns, ARs, and sometimes AKs, and then high-capacity shotguns.
Okay. And what do you do? I mean, give me a scenario of a three-gun shoot. Well,
what you'll have is a course set up largely steel targets, close range on your handgun, long range on your rifle, quick change between long and short range on rifle, often utilizing two sights, an optic and an open sight for quick acquisition. The courses are graded on both time and accuracy. As they move through the course, putting down one type, picking up their handgun, for instance, running through their handgun, holstering the handgun, going on to the shotgun.
Now, so these firearms are placed on stations so that you move to them rather than you're carrying everything with you?
There's you move from station to station, okay, transporting your gun somewhat, but the long guns, the shotgun and the rifle will be staged ahead of time.
Okay. Now you got a couple of firearms here. What typically would a person have to compete in a three-gun shoot but using some sort of a handgun?
Good way to start without spending a lot of money. I've got the Glocks in stock. You see a lot of Glocks. You'll see some custom 1911s, but without putting a lot of work into them and just firing them out of the box, it's hard to beat the dependability. This is a Glock 34. This is the long slide competition Glock. This is adjustable sights, high-capacity magazine, ready to run this competition right out of the box.
And what caliber is that?
This is in 40 cal. They make the same gun in both 45 and 9mm, depending on personality and what you like to shoot.
Sure. And of course, the 45 probably has a little more recoil and maybe a little tougher.
A little more recoil, a little less capacity.
Okay. Well, this 40 is that was kind of the caliber that was gone to after they found out that the 9mm, which is a standard NATO round, was somewhat lacking, and they come up with this 40 S&W, which had a little more oomph to it for hunting and for target shooting and for self-defense. 40
cal was the caliber adopted first by the government and then by many police forces. It's a nice in-between. It's a higher capacity than the 45. It's more knockdown than the 9. Still manageable in the recoil.
Okay. So, and in today's world, we have a lot of lady police officers. And so slapping a big 45 in their hand may be a little too much. And the 9mm, they found, lacked in the stopping power in life and death situations. So they come up with this, and this is a manageable recoil, but it's got enough stopping power, and that's why the police agencies from all over America have adopted this as their official sidearm.
Indeed it does, and not just in the power, but even in the comfort. I'm not a big guy, and I've got small hands. The 40 cal is still a comfortable gun that I can wrap my hands around. Other folks will find the same. Okay. Same frame as the 9mm in good comfort.
Okay, so that would be one firearm that you could use in the three gun. What about this other one?
Well, this one I brought along for demonstration on what's being shot in the revolver side of competitions.
Right.
You're not going to see the revolver in the competition, but we've long had out at our range. speed shoots involving the revolvers. This is, in fact, an 8-shot 9mm revolver, the same 9mm that you'd see in most semi-auto handguns. This is Jerry Miculek's signature revolver by Smith & Wesson. Jerry Miculek, if you're familiar, he's a living legend.
Right.
Just a phenomenal man. Great feats of expertise.
For our sport. Yeah, and he's like you say, he's an awesome shot with everything he touches.
It's just incredible to watch. And this is the 9mm revolver that he endorses. Amazing gun right out of the box. Again, ready for competition for the wheel gunners. Ready to take out to the range just the way it is.
Okay. And in Arizona, because it is a centerfire handgun, that is legal to hunt big game with.
You could hunt big game with that.
Now, then we kind of go over to the ethical side. Would this be something that I don't think you'd want to go out and hunt elk with this, but I'll bet you that at 10 yards, a javelina would be in big trouble.
Javelina would be workable.
Yeah.
Anything bigger, as you know, would definitely question the ethics on that.
But it is legal in Arizona.
It is legal. We have very open laws as far as centerfire and what can be hunted with.
Sure.
It's up to the sportsman to police himself on that one.
And again, it's about safe, responsible use and knowing what the capabilities of this is. And if he decided to use it in a hunting scenario versus a shooting situation out at the range where you're competing. So this is a kind of a special handgun there. If somebody, 9mm ammo can be found almost everywhere.
9's cheap. It's easy to find. It's a very low recoil. Very fun gun to shoot. As you'll see with a lot of the stuff I have here, though it does have a performance aspect to it, it's just gratuitously fun.
Okay. Now, do you start off these 3-gun matches with a handgun? Is that the way it normally starts?
It depends on how the scenario is set up by the folks hosting the match.
Match directors.
It can go any which way.
Okay.
We've got the rifles here to demonstrate for the 3-gun as well.
Okay. Now this is
by Rock River. This is their new X series, made specifically for the 3-gunners. It has the advanced rail for long sight radius, for forward hand placement. The Rock Rivers, I just love these guns. Amazing gun for the money. It's hard to get a better gun for the money. They come factory with 2-stage target triggers. They come factory with match barrels, cryo-treated Wilson barrels, in fact. One heck of a gun for the money at around $1,400. It's still within the working man's budget, and it's a gun that is ready to run out of the box.
Okay, and this is a gun that typically would be used in that 3-gun competition.
It is.
I mean, you could use probably any AR, but this is kind of the top of the line.
This is the gun that the competitors are building without having to build your own. Something to be said for getting your factory warranty on your gun right out of the box. Having them
now this
stand
one's
behind
got the extendable stock, so it's got different positions that you could use. So if you have length of pull issues, that you can adjust this to fit you. And I see it's got a looks like it has a selector switch for fire and for safety. And I know that Rock River makes an ambidextrous. You can actually put one on both sides.
That they do. These guns are completely mil-spec. You can accessorize these with any AR-15 accessory on the market. Beautiful thing about these modular guns. They're a lot of fun. They can change and evolve over time as you change and evolve as a shooter.
So you can, like I say, you can start off with this one, and as you decide and decide what you want to do with that firearm, you can customize it and use it for anything you want. A great coyote gun, awesome javelina gun. I got to believe that an AR-15 is just about the ultimate firearm for hunting javelina in Mojave County.
There's not much it can't do. One weekend you can be on the 3-gun competing. The next weekend you can be out on the coyote hunt. Okay,
now on this kind of match, typically what would they shoot? How far away are they going to be shooting?
Placement on these targets will be out to around 100 yards.
100 yards, okay. So, but that particular firearm, that firearm right there is got way extended range than that. Can probably 300 yards easy.
Shooting this same firearm, we've been out on the prairie dog hunts and shooting them at 300 without breaking a sweat.
Okay. Now, so that's the rifle part. Real quick before we break, tell me about the shotgun part.
Let's talk the shotgun. I am a big fan of the shotguns, especially this time of year with the bird hunting starting up. And in fact, I had this one out for a mess of dove just a couple of days ago.
Wow.
It takes one heck of a plug in there, about 20 inches of plug to make it legal for hunting 2 rounds.
And this is a Remington Versamax.
This is a Remington Versamax. Now the claim to fame for the Versamax is that this gun can fire 2 3/4, 3 inch, and 3.5 inch for the duck hunters and the guys that have to reach way out there, with no modification to the gun whatsoever. You know,
wow.
The older guns in the past, if they chambered all 3, needed at least some slight modification to the piston system,
right.
Swapping it about. These you can just run them wide open with everything.
They're going to shoot whatever you put in it.
They do.
And what do you do in 3-gun with that?
3-gun, they're going to have up silhouette style targets that you go through very quickly. Some of these matches are very high round count for shotguns. This one, as you see, has a 10-round tube. Remington has really stepped up to the plate with this guy. The carbon fiber makes it very light. It has integral quick detach sling mounts on it already, extended charging handle, extended bolt release, extended safety. Just built for speed all around.
Right.
The high round count will get you through there without having to,
this is a 12
to reload as much. This is 12 gauge.
Okay.
A nice rifle sight system that's still low and unobtrusive enough that you can take it out for some bird hunting too.
So you can shoot skeet with this. I mean, I see it's got
Indeed.
It's got interchangeable chokes.
It does.
So you could buy an improved cylinder, a skeet choke, screw that thing in there, and you could go down to the go down to the skeet range and shoot it. Put in a modified, shoot at the trap range, and then, like you say, in your 3-gun, you've got something that you can absolutely use. Chris, we're going to take a quick break here for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll finish up on our 3-gun, talk about some of the other stuff you got here. Thank you for coming, buddy.
You bet.
Folks, this is a great show. Don't go away. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Well, what this is this is a funny one. This is a pistol.
Welcome back to Back at Camp. I'm your host, Captain Don Martin. With me today is Chris Wagner, owner of the gun shop. We were just talking about the 3-gun, about the shotgun that you used, and now you have all these firearms at your shop.
These are in hand.
In stock?
In stock.
Ready to go at a good price.
I guarantee that.
Nobody's paying retail.
Right.
Okay. Now, if somebody wants one of these or any other kind of firearm, can they get them from you?
I try to stock a wide variety. I try to stock a lot of them. There are so many that you just can't stock them all.
Right.
If I don't have them, we want to talk about ordering them. We can order them quick. We're happy to do it. And again, we'll do it with a healthy discount.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, let's talk about some other firearms you have. You got a firearm here that's kind of interesting. Let's talk about this one.
On to the fun stuff.
The fun stuff, as you call it.
It is. You know, in the past we've talked about the hunting side of things, and we've talked about the self-defense, and those are those are necessities, and those are important. But sometimes we just like to have fun, and I like to acknowledge that we do this largely because it's fun. So
and it's safe.
As long as you're safe, it's fun. When that is true.
And safety is a personal responsibility. I mean, you know, when we talk about firearms and use of firearms, it all boils down to personal responsibility and understanding what you got, the proper way that it is utilized, and that you always, you know, you follow the basics of firearm safety. You always point your muzzle in a safe direction, keep your finger off the trigger, be sure you target beyond, that kind of basic stuff. And if you do that, no matter what firearm you got, whether you have a handgun, shotgun, rifle, AR, or whatever this thing is, you know, it's going to be fun, it's going to be safe.
That's true.
So what do you got here?
Well, what this is this is a funny one. This is a pistol.
A pistol.
This is a pistol.
Now, sure looks a lot like this guy.
It does. Now, what's going on here is you've got a 10-inch barrel. Now
that's got a 16.
Plus
the break.
That's a long one. That's a carbine. kind of between the handgun and a rifle, but this
Mm-hmm.
one's classed entirely different. Because of the 10-inch barrel, because of what Sig Sauer has come out with recently that they call an arm brace, and ATF acknowledges that this is not a stock, it's an arm brace. You can strap it right over a forearm and hold it to steady your weapon.
How does that work?
Well, off comes the strap, and in goes your arm.
Okay.
And there's your stabilizing
So
brace.
then you come around and you put it like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Now, this is right. I'm left-handed, so this is completely backwards for me. But you know what? I mean, it holds that rear. I mean, wow.
Now that's
Now this is not a lightweight operation either.
that's a little awkward. Let's unstrap you there for a moment, and let's try this in a bit different method. Now, when they tell you this is an arm brace, there's a bit of a wink involved.
Mm-hmm.
Put that up to your shoulder once.
Okay. Now I'm left-handed. Okay.
And there you go, ready to rock.
Okay.
Now it's not as long as it ought to be, but it's workable.
Right, and it's got a special sight on it. That's called what, a halo
This has
sight or something?
an EOTech holographic optic on it. This is military grade. This is the same thing our soldiers use. They're surprisingly affordable. We can easily put these in the hands of the public at a reasonable price. You're looking at about $450 on a site like that.
Okay.
Now, what this has that is regulated, NFA device in reference to the National Firearms Act back in the 60s that began to regulate such things. It has a silencer on it. Now, a lot of guys don't know that we can even own silencers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that just about 2 years ago, Arizona legalized hunting with silencers.
Right.
So we're trying to get the word out. We're trying to educate folks on this. And again, these are legal. They're obtainable. We want to help them do it. We want to teach them about them.
And you'll assist them with the paperwork and whatever they need to do to legally obtain and utilize a silencer on a firearm.
Indeed. Some patience is required. It's taken about 10 months to transfer a device like this at this time because there's been such a growth in the industry in reference to silencers. ATF is just inundated with paperwork. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing increased wait times, unfortunately. But the time does pass, and eventually you're ready to take home your new silencer. You put this thing on, you go out to shoot, and you realize, I don't even need my ears anymore. Safe shooting for the hearing. You can shoot these with no ear protection whatsoever.
Wow.
It doesn't quite give you that movie sound, but it's pretty darn close.
Okay.
Great for hunters. It diffuses the sound very quickly. Less alarm on your varmints. Less alarm if you are out shooting prairie dogs. They're gonna come back up quicker.
Yeah, because they don't hear the kaboom that's normally associated with a centerfire rifle.
Exactly.
And this pistol here is actually in .223 caliber.
This is in military 5.56 or .223. It'll shoot either. These silencers can go on just about any gun, any of the auto handguns, any of the rifles can be modified very easily to take these silencers. We have a variety of them. 22 calibers are very popular. The 5.56s, the 30 cals, and even larger.
Wow. So if somebody is looking for a silencer for their hunting firearm or self-defense firearm, they need to come see you and you take care of it.
We would love to help them.
Okay. Now, let's talk about an AR platform, but a hunting rifle that is probably a really good thing for ladies and for youngsters.
Indeed. These guys get a lot of bad press. You know, you see the black gun depicted on television. Anytime you hear of shooting or an accident, you very first see the black gun pop up, whether it was used or not.
Right.
These guys are...
well, the AR platform, though, is the fastest growing shooting sport in America. There's more people utilizing AR platforms for hunting and for shooting, for recreational shooting, than any firearm.
These have, the day has come. These have moved solidly into the hunting industry. Now here, Remington makes this. This is
a Remington factory.
Indeed. This is an R25 chambered in 7mm .8. Now picture a 308, the traditional 308, but neck down to 7mm, a little flatter shooting, very light recoil. 7.8 has been around for decades now, but it's gained recent popularity as a youth gun, as a ladies' gun. I'll tell you, I wouldn't hesitate to shoot this for a moment. This will ethically hunt elk, it's perfectly good for take on an elk. It's beautiful for deer.
120 grain, 140 grain bullets, something like that.
Exactly, and shoots it darn fast.
Yeah.
This one is packaged up with the camo burris scope, so you got your camo gun, camo scope package, ready to go, turnkey, just the way it is. We package up a lot of guns like this, so folks don't have to do their own research on their optics. They get one ready to go.
So you got this firearm in stock. If somebody has their wife drew a deer tag this year, or their son or daughter drew a junior's deer tag for a rifle hunt, you got this particular firearm in stock and ammo to go with it, and it's ready to rock and roll.
It is, yeah, absolutely. I can't help but picture a fella buying this for his wife and then just hoping she lets him shoot it too.
Yes. Yeah, it's got a nice scope of 4.5 to 14. It's got a burris scope on it. I mean, it's a dandy looking rig. And like I say, it's the fastest growing shooting platform in America today. I mean, it's just taken over the firearms industry and because of the light recoil, but yet they're so accurate, it's uncanny. And it used to, the old school used to say if it's a semi-auto, it'll never be accurate. These guns have proven that set up like they are today, they're extremely accurate and are awesome hunting firearms.
These are easily reaching sub-MOA accuracy.
Wow, this is really nice. So folks, if you're interested in something like this, Chris has got it out there at his gun shop. Okay, now we've talked about some different things, some that you got going on, the new 3-gun stuff. What's going on in your shop? What do you got as far as powder and ammo and that kind of thing?
Well, reloading and ammunition has been a tough topic for almost 2 years now. Since the time of the election, both have been tough. The components are gobbled up by the manufacturers. The manufacturers can't turn it out quick enough to meet demand. So some calibers remain difficult, like 22 long rifle especially. The favorite caliber, and to put to rest any of the rumors, there's no government involvement that's making it hard to get. It's purely a supply and demand. We're just buying too darn much of it, and they can't keep up.
Yeah, people are hoarding it because they're afraid it is going to dry out.
That's the tough one.
And that's what it's all about. People are hoarding ammo, and they don't need to be. It's readily available. And like I say, and it's causing this supply and demand shortage thing.
That's what it is. Now, we have enjoyed a return of a lot of the popular calibers, the 223 and 5.56. Hunting calibers are easier to get now. At a point, we couldn't get a hold of hollow points for our concealed carry guns. We can get a good selection of hollow point now. The full metal jacket, the practice ammo is trickling back in. So it's beginning to stabilize, not as quick as we'd like it. The components, things like primers and powder, remain very elusive. We're very fortunate to have a lot of powder in our shop at the moment. Made a wonderful contact in the industry that's been able to keep us supplied, and we have probably around 600 pounds of reloaders powder right now.
Wow.
In various.
So you have pistol, shotgun, rifle, whatever.
I have an abundance of rifle. Pistol's a difficult one. I get pistol powder in today, it'll be gone tomorrow. But if folks will come in and tell us what they're looking for, we'll keep an eye out, and we can usually, within a couple of weeks or so, give them a call with the powder that they're looking for.
Okay.
And
components, bullets, and primers?
Bullets are a tough one. Primers are a tough one. We're always working and diligent to keep those in stock, but they do remain tough.
Yeah. Hey, folks, I want to tell you about a little thing I got here. Last time Chris was on my show, he brought this down. We talked about self-defense firearms in the home. And he showed me this particular little gun. It's a Ruger 38 Special Plus P, but it has a laser in the grip. And after looking at this and hearing Chris talk about this, I decided that this was the ultimate home defense firearm. Man, you can put that in a lock container next to your bed, and they've got some new ones that you wear a bracelet and it just kicks it open. But at night, when it's completely dark, this thing has a nice bright laser, and if somebody came into your home uninvited and came in to do you harm, I assure you that when you squeeze the handle on this, the grip, that laser comes on, that sends a real hard message to that person: I would not come any further. So I just want to thank Chris, because when the show was over, I had to run down and buy this thing, and I've owned it now, and it's quite a firearm, and I hope I never have to use it. But I'll tell you what, this is a good one. Chris, real quick, who you got working for you now down there?
Oh, I've
Still got Eddie.
We've grown so much that that we've had to take on some new faces. We've got our young lady Raylan there learning the trade and keeping the place looking sharp. We've got Kendall, bright, sharp fella, ready to help. He has good knowledge that continues to grow daily. He brought a good knowledge with him when he came to join us. We've got our old standbys. We've got Joe there and Bill and all the friendly faces.
Sure. So if anybody needs anything, if you're not there, your staff is.
You're still well served. Come in and grab a cup of coffee and sit and visit with the guys there. All right. Always waiting for you.
All right. We're out of time, Chris. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
you coming down, folks. Full shop here. This guy's got it all out there. If you need something, go out there and check out the gun shop. One last time, what's your phone number?
Phone number is 681-4570.
681-4570. Listen, until next week, this is Captain Don Martin saying keep your firearms oiled, your fishing line fresh, and we'll see you back at camp.